What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunched Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Luis King Kong Ortiz. Get this. Luis Ortiz shakes his head at Fury fighting Chisora next. Luis Ortiz is still shaking his head in disbelief. The former title challenger can't believe that the WBC lineal heavyweight champion Tyson Fury will face Derek Chisora in a trilogy bout that seemingly no one called for December 3rd. Fury already owns a wide points and knockout victory over Chisora. Ortiz was last in action when he lost a competitive decision to former champion Andy Ruiz. He said that he was more than willing to make a quick return to face Fury. He said, "I think even less of the big Dawser Fury. He claims to want to fight the best. He says Anthony Joshua didn't want to fight him and that Alexander Usyk didn't want to fight him. He went down the line of the top 10 on BoxRec and didn't pick me because I came off a loss," Ortiz told Boxing Scene. "Give me a break. You just passed over me because you saw that I went 12 rounds and was only getting better in the later rounds. I was already for 15 rounds, but it's okay. It just makes you look bad that you passed on me to fight Chisora, who has 12 losses. This blows my mind. I would think Fury should feel embarrassed to move forward with this fight. If you want a real fight, I'm here, you big Dawser. So stop calling fighters out and then choose the easy pickings." Those are the words of Luis King Kong Ortiz. And let me counterpunch. Ortiz, I feel bad for Ortiz. I really do. I like him. I think he's probably still a dangerous guy. It's just I don't think that Ortiz at this point in his career has what it takes to take on top opposition anyway. But what he said, did it really make sense? And yes, it did. Luis Ortiz is a guy that, is witnessing the shenanigans. You fight Derek Chisora. Okay. You fought him twice. Already. Now you talk about guys that don't want to fight you and then you pick somebody easy. And I see it. I see the bias in it, because I know it strikes him as like, well, hey, why don't you fight me? Well, for one, Luis Ortiz getting the opportunity to fight Tyson Fury is a long shot. Why? For one, politics. And that's something that Luis Ortiz has never really acknowledged. And he should acknowledge the politics behind the whole thing. Those PBC fighters don't make their own fights. He sure the hell don't make his own fights. He might want fights. But I think he's ignorant to the fact that knowing, I can't fight Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury fights on ESPN. He does not fight on PBC, and there's nobody over on my side of the street that will really help me, and he doesn't know that. If he can't see that they pissed that opportunity and snatched it away from him from fighting Anthony Joshua back in 2019, back when Ortiz was still a dangerous fighter, mind you. He was still a dangerous fighter in 2019. And that was probably one of the last real years that he had to be truly competitive on a certain level. He's not going to ever see it. See, there's a reason why you have the fighter versus the manager and promoter and everybody else above him, because they're smarter. He just knows how to fight. Now, his fighting instinct tells him that, Tyson Fury's fighting somebody that he shouldn't be fighting. That's true. But Tyson Fury does that. Tyson Fury feels that he's on a Mayweather-like level. He feels that he's already proven himself time and time again, and he hasn't been defeated. So because of those things, he thinks that, and he feels that he can do whatever the fuck he wants to do, which a lot of times he does. The only time that I see Tyson Fury not being able to do what he wanted to do is when he was forced to fight Deontay Wilder. But then again, how forced was it? You don't really know. We will never really know. We just know about the arbitration that drug on and 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 on until he's supposed to fight Anthony Joshua. Then all of a sudden, hey, the arbitration's up, motherfucker. You got to fight Deontay Wilder. So, but the point I'm trying to make is pretty much he does what he wants to do when he wants to do it. And if he wants to fight Joe Blow, he can fight Joe Blow. But it's just interesting to me to see guys like Luis Ortiz, hi, you know what I mean? Like, look, you were fighting this guy and you could have been fighting me if you wanted to fight anybody, or guys that you felt that were on a level. And, by the way, to add to that, Joshua, then the Usyk situation, then Joe Joyce, he just straight up ducked Joe Joyce. So he could have threw them in there. But, Ortiz, of course, looks at himself still in the limelight amongst all these other fighters. You know what I mean? So, he's shaking his head in disbelief, but he has to also believe that Tyson Fury does what he wants to do. And his opportunities, if he couldn't beat Andy Ruiz, that was it for him. And it's pretty much it for Luis Ortiz, because Luis Ortiz is in a situation politically that he can't do anything else. He can't fight on the zone. He can't fight for Golden Boy. He can't fight for Top Rank. He can only fight for PBC Fox, and that's the line and that's the trail that he has, and his trail is getting more smaller and smaller. It's almost microscopic. You know what I mean? It's breadcrumbs by this point. Okay, but I do agree with Ortiz, but like, would Ortiz fancy I'm pretty sure he would fancy a fight with Tyson Fury, but Tyson Fury wouldn't even entertain a fight like that. But the irony is he's fighting Derek Chisora that looked like shit in his last fight. You know what I mean? So it will probably be that much easier unless Tyson Fury decides to carry Derek Chisora, which, is not out of the question. You know what I mean? Because if he goes in there and sees that he's a superior guy, Derek Chisora is only going to run out of gas as time permits. So, the fight will be what it is, but it's refreshing to see other fighters witnessing what Tyson Fury claims to be and not acting upon what he really is. And that's supposed to be the best boxer in the heavyweight division. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Luis Ortiz shaking his head at Tyson Fury, calling him a big dossa. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunched. Peace!